And isn't it strange that we're supposed to stay the same forever when life continues to shift and change around us? Have you noticed the people who say, "You've changed," are often the people who haven't? And isn't it strange that we're supposed to stay the same forever when life continues to shift and change around us? So, did you really change, or are they just uncomfortable because you didn't remain the same version of you that benefited them? Hey, welcome to my channel. This is Love My Lifestyle, where we basically talk about certain things that's going to help us to create the lifestyle that we want. Okay, positively, we're going to raise our frequencies and vibrations. We're going to do all that jazz. And I love to talk. I love to talk about certain subject matters, right? And I was thinking today about that common phrase of like, "You've changed." Or and the thing is, people may not actually say this to you. They might not tell you that they think you've changed. That you can just sense that they feel that you've changed, or they may say that you've changed, or they might just say, "Oh, you never used to do that," or "Oh, that's new." "Oh, when did you start doing that?" There's certain little words sometimes that even means you've changed. And sometimes you can feel different within yourself anyway. You look at your circle, or you look at people around you, you look at your friends, your family, you look at associates, you look at certain things on the Insta, you look at certain things like people from your childhood, just certain things, and you think to yourself, it's like certain things are no longer aligning with you, and that's okay. We all grow, we evolve, we change in a direction that suits us in life. For me, I'm a person that I'm all about growth and just discovery, growth, and evolving. And just certain things no longer serves me or tantalizes me anymore, and I'm kind of a person that kind of shuts down, or I just change paths very easily because I know the direction where I'm heading. I know what my goals are. I know where I want to be in life. And that's not looking down on anybody at all. I don't ever do that. But I am someone that's focused. I'm focus driven. And sometimes people may feel as though I've changed, but I've changed for the better. I'm always trying to change for the better. And it's not a bad thing. And there's nothing wrong with those that doesn't want to do that. It doesn't mean that my dynamics of friendships or anything like that has changed, but it does mean that my mindset's changed, and certain things that used to serve me or fulfill me before no longer really does that for me, you know? And if anyone does ever say to you, "You've changed," and they may say it in an insult way, you might not even want to go certain places or do certain things, you know? And they may say you've changed, but to me, it's not in an insult. It means I'm doing something right because I'm not looking to be the same person that I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever. I have to look forward. Where do I want to be in 10 years from now? So in order to know where I want to be in 5, 10 years from now, I need to be making sure that I am a different version of myself that I was 5, 10 years ago. You need to make sure that you're trying to be a different version of yourself that you was 10 years ago. For example, take COVID, C-19. I always still say, but there was even a time where we couldn't even really say the word COVID because it would just mess up your channel and thing in it. But yeah, we'll say COVID times. For me, that's when I had the most major shift of my life, when I was just like, no, I can no longer pour into things that don't fulfill me in my heart and my spirit and my soul. Um, and and that's me personally. It was time now. The times now, life is too short to be. Life is too short. You don't know if you're going to be here tomorrow. It made me realize a lot of things, and there's a lot of things that I want to do, and I'm still trying to figure things out. And I need to start figuring those things out. I know, for example, that I want to work for myself, and that's just really what I've really poured myself into. Yeah, Rome was not built in a day, but you need to have that faith and courage within yourself, and you need to change things. Really need to change things. So yeah, it's not a bad thing. I think a lot of people, for example, if they've had near death experiences, again, that's a shift in their mind that, nah, this ain't working for me. Nah, this ain't, things aren't running. I need to switch up. I need to be changing certain things in my life because, I had a near death experience, whether it's a health conscious decision, a leveling up decision, like switching up your lifestyle, improving, or going for those goals, dreams, and aspirations. I always say I hate the word dreams because it shouldn't be dreams. Dreams is something we do in our bed, yeah. Dreams, we're dreaming when we're sleeping. Okay. Um, so if it's in your mind and it's a thought, it's a goal, right? And what do we do with goal? What should you be doing goals? We set goals and we set goals to try and achieve them. You know, it's the same for people that go to university and things like that. You go to university because you want to get a degree at the end, innit? What's the point in having an amazing idea and not actually pouring into that idea to make it cultivate it, to make it something. So yeah, I just think a lot of people have their reasons. You need to know what your why is, don't you? This is this is going from what people say and their opinions, and you've changed to like me telling you, you need to think about what your why is, yeah, and use that as your driving force. But back to the subject now. I've learned, I've failed, I've been hurt, I healed. You know what I mean? Yeah, I've changed. I've changed. Listen, I have been through so much. If I told you, listen, them people that say I could write a book, I literally could write a book. But for the most part, I made music. I make music. Like I like to write. I love to write poetry and I like to make music. That's my outlet. But some people write books. Or maybe I don't even chat my business on here, but it's like I've been through life. We've all been through life, right? And then a journey of life, I feel like as well, I always say to you, like, God never gives you nothing that you can't handle. And a lot of the tests that we have in life, yeah, Allah is preparing you for bigger things to come, or He is giving you that shake up call you need to get the work done. You know what I mean? And if something's been removed in your life, it's been removed for a reason. It's to clear space for the new, okay, for the new thought processes, for the new abundance, for the new life that we want to live, whatever it is. You know what I mean? If nothing changed in my life, then I haven't lived. Do you know what I mean? If nothing's changed in my life, then I haven't lived, and I'm not learning and I'm not evolving. I'm just stagnant. I don't want to be stagnant. I don't know if it's stagnant. I don't want to be stuck in the same place. Like you want to be going through all the processes of life and you see the end goal. It's why you gotta have goals and not dreams. Dreams is for your bed, man. We gotta be going for them goals. And there's nothing wrong with those that wants to stay stagnant. And they bring it back to the COVID times. There's a lot of people that lead the way, that have their own mind, okay? And there's a lot of people, and I hate to use the terminology sheep, but followers that will just systematically follow what they're told and what they're told to do. And their mind's not their own. And a lot of us needs to wake up and be less programmed, because I feel like the mind's state of mind, the state of mind has become, we're born, we go to school, we go to college, we go to university, whatever, that kind of thing, sixth form. And then we get a job, we get a jobby job, and then you work through that job until your pension age, which in the UK they're trying to push up all the way past 70. So then when you get your pension, it's like, yeah, when you're about 80, try and enjoy life. Life is for living now. And I feel like the whole mindset, and I'm not telling people not to go out there and work. This is not what I'm saying. I'm saying bear in mind that life is short, and make sure whatever you're doing between the lines, whether you've got a job, a hobby, your own career, your own business, whatever you're doing, we need to make sure we're pouring into ourselves and that we're doing something that nurtures our soul, spirit, and mind, and also bears fruit for us. That job can be gone tomorrow, that business can be gone tomorrow. We need to be putting into certain ventures and certain things. And that's why I keep reverting back to using COVID as an example of that. We don't know what's going to come up in life or what's going to be thrown at us. And it's a now or never, do or die. Yeah. So sometimes people don't actually miss you, they miss the version of you that was easy to control. I've never been somebody, I listen, I've always said this to me, I'm not the wrong person, I am the wrong person to come to with you with your problems. I am a shoulder to cry on. I'm a good friend, I'm a good person, I'm a good family member. I think I am anyway. I am that person that will console you. So don't get it twisted. But I'm the same person I keep saying in other videos that will shake you and try and guide you and try and make you see how amazing you are and that there's more to life, and how to just get busy with that, like how to sort that out. I don't want to hear, I'm not the kind of person that wants to hear the same repetitive thing. We need to figure out a way of getting out of certain holes, situations, the rat race or whatever it is that's burdening us. We want to be getting rid of burdens and be free. So Yeah, I think sometimes for the most part, and I swear they missed a version of me. So the version of me before might have just been a bit of going to spaces where my face hurts. I always say to you, I don't like being in spaces where my face hurts. That means I'm fake smiling. I'm not, I used to maybe be a bit of a people pleaser. Yeah. I'm not a people pleaser now. Hell to the no. I am not a people pleaser. I will tell it like it is. Okay. And many people may not like that. Or I leave, or I don't attend, or I don't do. I say no. I know how to say no to certain things. I love to say no, and I feel no way to say no. I feel no way to not do something or not talk to someone or not pick up a call or not answer a message until I feel right within myself. I've poured into myself. I know how to take time for myself. So it's not a thing of changing, it's knowing how to look after yourself, you know? You want to be putting out good frequencies. We can't be putting out good frequencies and feel good within ourselves when we've got so much on our shoulders, and then we're taking on so much on our shoulders on top of that, you know? So that's like the version that always said yes, like back in the day, long time ago, I'd always say yes. The version that never knew how to say no, the version that never spoke up, the one that would sacrifice herself for everybody else, put everyone else before themselves, you know, give when I don't have anything. um because, and this is the thing, you know what I mean, we should be giving, definitely should be giving and supporting, so don't get it twisted. I know that it's good to be charitable and to give, but we need to understand that it's a healthy balance. And if people are not really concerned about you and how you're coping, but wants to take, we need to shut that, down. So when that version of yourself disappears, people call it change. You know, when you're not available for people all the time as well, that's another thing. You know, people call it change, but it isn't. It's change, but it's good. It's good change. You know, you have to have a healthy balance. And of course, I'm not trying to say be a horrible person, be negative. We're not wanting to be doing that in this life, and a lot of people are going through things, so we definitely want to be supportive of people, loving, um you know, just being kind. But I'm just trying to tell you how to change for the better of yourself, and that if anyone does say that you've changed it, it's not necessarily a bad thing, you know. So here's another way of putting it as well, you know. What if you haven't actually changed and people have actually remained the same? We're talking about the same habits, the same mindset, the same negativity, the same complaints, the same excuses year after year after year. So when you look at it like that, there's nothing wrong with change and there's nothing wrong with evolving, you know. And if you are somebody that hasn't changed and you want to change, then make the start and the change today. You know, I always say, like, we need to just really start by flicking that positivity switch on and thinking positive, and be very mindful what you take on from the outside world. Um, you know, social media, TV, um, the news, politics, all of that outside stuff can cause confusion. Um, you know, could cause confusion and also complacency, if that makes sense, and making you feel like everything in your life is how it should be because it's how they tell you it should be, when really it isn't, and it's keeping you stuck, down, depressed, and the rest of it. So there's all loads of ways to look at it. You know, I'm actually going to do a video, you'll see a video come up after this regarding social media, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. Growth can be uncomfortable because it just reminds them, like, people of what they aren't doing, or lets them see what the outcome of doing you and changing could look like. And especially when you're bouncing off the walls and you're happy and you're just like, you just, yeah, it can ruffle feathers. And there's, you know, that's a them problem, not a you problem. Think of it like this: you wouldn't expect a child to not grow. Yeah. You wouldn't expect a tree to just stop growing. You wouldn't expect seasons to never change. That's impossible. Life changes us, love changes us, experience changes us, failure changes us, pain changes us. So if someone says to you, you've changed, just smile and say, I hope so. Because the alternative is staying exactly the same while life passes us by. Growth isn't betrayal, it's survival. So I hope that this video reaches you well, positively, with positive things to take from the video. None of my videos are here to mock people, judge people. We are trying to live the lifestyle that we know that we deserve, the lifestyle that we want. And we want to live in a world where we are thriving and we can look back and be proud. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe for more. Thank you so much for watching today. Bye.